Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be a quick review for a new RTA from Oxva. It's going to be, of course, this one, the Oxva Arbiter Solo. Now the original Arbiter from Oxva I reviewed quite a while ago. On the Arbiter it was going to be a dual coil deck, more for your direct to lung vaping. This one, the Arbiter Solo, is going to be a single coil, hence the name Solo. It's got a few unique features with this one. I do like the fact you can adjust the airflow on the deck from the outside at the top. I'll show what I mean by that later on. This was sent to me from Oxva, so big thanks to them for that. What we're going to do first, go down, open the box, show you get inside. I'll show you around the Oxva Arbiter Solo, how that airflow works, put in a quick build, come to the top, and we'll talk about it. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, you got a packaging for the Arbiter Solo RTA. This box will be generic. It's got a silver picture on the front. It does tell you mine's be the matte black. Could be 4 mils. It says Arbiter Solo RTA, dual airflow control system, and leakproof. Leakproof because it is going to be top down airflow. Look on the box. This is going to be designed by Tony T. On the back, some details to read. Inside the box, shows things. Gonna get a little user manual, a little bag with spare O-rings, spare post screws, and a little Allen key. A second drip tip. This is more for your restricted direct to lung. A little bag of cotton and a coil. It does tell you in the bag what the coil is. In the diameter, it's going to be 2.5mm. With this one, you can get in a 3mm inner diameter coil, as long as it's not too big and exotic, because there's not a lot of space in there, which I'll show you later on. A little bag of silica gel, do not eat it. And a straight glass. With a straight glass holds 2 mils of e-liquid. And of course the Arbiter Solo RTA itself. Few specs, the base will be 25mm. With the bubble glass, it comes out to about 28mm. Height wise, not counting the threads or the drip tip, will be 40mm. The bubble glass pre-installed holds 4 mils. Like I said, that one holds 2 mils. The top, you've got 510 drip tip. Just pop it off. Held on with 2 little O-rings. I'll show you the other one, how that looks. Bit of a wider drip tip, bit of a wider bore. I prefer the mouth to lung one, but yeah, you've got 2 options. Mouth to lung, restricted direct to lung. On the very top here, you'll see the writing MTL, an RDL, and an arrow. This is going to be quite unique, this part here. If you turn this around to MTL, it is actually changing the airflow on the deck, which I'll show you later on. Turn it around to restricted direct to lung. Again, it's changing the airflow here. Show you that when you open it up. On this front part here, there's a Oxva engraved. The airflow, like I said, is going to be top down. You've got a few different options. You've got 5 different holes. You've got a 0.8mm, a 1mm, a 1.2, a 1.5, a 1.8, then a big Cyclops. This is more for your restricted direct to lung. If you want to use it for mouth to lung, you could use it to expose 1, 2 or 3. There's another option here of a single hole. Spin that round. You can really fine tune it to just have 1 hole at a time for your mouth to lung vaping. This I must say is working really well. I like a slightly loose mouth to lung. I found that I use it this way. About 3 holes is what I like, but you can really fine tune it. So to get to the top fill, unscrew this part. So pop it off, it will hold on in place. I'll show you why. Pop it off. So on the top cap here, if I can zoom in, you'll see there's a little notch on this side and a little notch on this side. And on the side here, again, you can see a little notch there and a little notch there. So when you put this on, you've got to turn it around, it falls into place, and then screw it in. Those notches are what adjust the airflow on the deck. As you turn that top piece to restricted direct to lung or mouth to lung, this part here is moving around. I'll show that later on. Got 2 nice fill parts there. Really easy to fill this one. So yeah, put it on, turn it around, then it falls into place, he says, and you can screw it down. On the base, it does say Arbiter, CE mark, Dr. Swollen bin, designed by Oxva, gold plated 510 pin. So to get to the deck, just unscrew it. Unscrew it a few times and then just pull it. This deck will go in a certain way. It's got a little groove there. Just turn it around. It will fall into place. And you can screw it in. So there's going to be deck. Look at it in a minute. Take off the bubble glass. You see here it says Arbiter. On this side it does have the Arbiter logo. Inside it's a big open chamber, but it's quite a low chamber. I will say that when you got your deck in place, it's quite compressed. So you do your coil, you need to have your coils quite low down, which I'll show you. So yeah, you can see here, you've got a little round hole, and a round hole here, and a little cyclops hole here. As you turn this part here, this is going to be turning around. How that's working is, there's got one little airflow slot here, but not on this side. This one will be for your mouth to lung, so the air comes in here, under the coil, comes through this small hole here. This will be a 1.5mm air hole, but then if you turn that dial around, you can have that one open. And there's a big hole here on this post, a big hole here on this post as well, both sides. That's going to be for your restricted direct to lung. So you can have either one air hole open here for the mouth to lung, or all three, this one, and this one, for restricted direct to lung. These air holes, I believe, about 3mm or 3.4mm. So it is working, and it is working well. It's quite unique that you can change it on outside from mouth to lung to restricted direct to lung. The build deck, it's very simple. Just going to do your glove screws, this side, put your leg in here, put your leg in here. Like I said, when you put this inside, that chamber is quite low down. You need to be careful of your coils. You need to get them really as low as possible inside here, which I'll show you in the build. So yeah, very simple. Wicked parts on this side and this side. Put cotton down. It's going to be like GTA style deck. But yeah, that airflow, I've not seen it done that way before, I must say. I've not seen it where you can adjust it on the outside. So it's going to be a really good feature. What I'm going to do now is put in a quick build. So yeah, the core today would be an Vape, of course. It's got one core Clapton, 26 by 38 gauge camphor wire. Comes out about a 0.98. Should be about a 0.8 by the time I finish installing it. In the diameter with this one will be 3mm. Like I said, you can get a 3mm in the diameter coil in here, as long as it's not too exotic. There's not a big space between the posts. This one, it's going to be the same sort of problem that a lot of these things have, where you got your post screws on one side and one side. If your legs are facing the wrong way, you've got to play around a bit. Got my coil here. I've had to sort of bend it slightly to make the legs go downwards to install it. Simple to install. Put it straight in. Put it straight in. Hold it in place. Screw it down. Then do the same on the other side. On these little posts here, there's a very slight little lip there, as you can see, a little notch to keep the wire in place. Put the rod inside, pull it over. As you see there, that's going to be quite a tight space. It's not really an exotic coil. Going to raise it slightly. I like my coil more or less level to the top, like that. I'm going to trim the wires. You need to be careful of your wires. That's sticking out too far there. You need to trim a bit more. Like so. Get as close as possible to that post. And again, that one there, a bit too much. Okay, let's check the arms. So the 0.91, let's turn the wattage down obviously. Gets 12 watts. Dry fire it a few times. With this coil for change, I'm not going to be too spaced, I'm going to put it together. That's glowing nicely. Like I said, you can see there the height, literally to the post. Can't be much higher than that. Let it cool down, wick it up. Okay, just put cotton straight through. Nice and tight there. I've been trimming my cotton more or less to the outside of the deck. Fluff it out. Again, like I usually do a lot of my RTAs, I cut my little tails a slight V shape. This way of wicking seems to always work with my style of vaping, because these little holes here, they're not that big, I must say. Don't want too much cotton going down there and blocking it off. Then just push the cotton straight down, straight in. I've been asked recently why I don't use tweezers. I can't use tweezers. I don't know why I'm not dexterous in my hand. I just can't control tweezers really well. I use a little pointy thing. Just like that for me, it's fine. Get some juice. Clean the mess as always. The juice today will be my vitalized mint cake from Amatorium. Just reviewed this recently. It's a real nice Kendall mint cake flavour. If you like Kendall mint cake, this one definitely I recommend buying. Like I said, we install the base, put it inside, turn it around till it falls in, and you can screw it down. Not on the device really, never do that. Yeah, just screw it down nice and tight. Gonna undo this part. Forget your top cap. Like I said, you got to put it in top, turn it around till it falls into place, those notches, and you can screw it down. Then set your airflow. I'm going to be vaping this one first, mouth to lung wise. Turn it around. Like I said, I like a slightly loose mouth to lung. I've been using mine with the 3 holes open like that. So yeah, that was the Arbiter Solo. It's the same build. Firing it now at 16 watts. I've got the airflow open with 3 holes at the top. Have a quick vape. And for my style of mouth to lung vaping, those 3 holes are perfect for me, but you can really fine tune that. I'll show that later on. The overall looks of this one I do like. The tolerances with the O-rings, I've had no issues with that glass, it stays on nice and tight. The build deck is quite a simple build deck. The only slight issue will be that your post screws are a certain way. If you buy stock made coils, your legs are facing the wrong way round, you got to sort of bend the coil around, but it is doable. You can get it in there. I've had no issues rebuilding this and wicking it. Gonna go over the good points, and there's gonna be a lot, and a few bad points, which can be just a few. The good points will be obviously that airflow control. I've not seen an RTA designed this way before. Maybe there's been one that I don't know about, where you can adjust the airflow from the outside for the build deck. You turn it around at the top to mouth to lung or restricted direct to lung. It is changing the whole airflow setup at the deck. Like I showed you, you've got one big cyclops coming in, that single airflow coming up under the coil. Turn it round, then you got that one plus those 2 big holes at the post. So it is going to be quite unique. It does work really, really well. The airflow on the outside, the holes, 5 different hole sizes, and a big cyclops. And again, you can use that one single hole to really fine tune it. Going to turn it down to one hole. One hole with that hole. And that's a 0.8mm. That is way too tight for me. So you can get a really nice mouth along. Go on to the 1mm. Again, too tight for me personally. Like I said, you can really fine tune it. You can get a real tight mouth along with this one. That one hole under the coil being 1.5mm. It is restricting the airflow coming up under the coil nicely. But if you're like me, you like a nice sort of loose mouth along, I've been using this side of the airflow where I can adjust more than one hole. 3 holes is great. Going to turn it fully open like so. And then I'm going to change it to some of the top to restricted direct along. Pump up the wattage to say 20 watts. Have a quick try of that one. Now that's with all of the air holes fully open all the way. That is going to be a restricted direct along. It's not going to be totally open and airy. A very slight restriction. Turn it round. Cut off that cyclops. Just have the 5 holes instead. Again, more restricted direct along. So it is working really well. You can really go for a real tight mouth along all the way to a restricted direct along. So yeah, that airflow, I'm impressed. It is working really well. Another good point will be obviously the capacity. Bubble glass is going to be 4 mils. Straight glass will be 2 mils. TPD version, I'm not too sure what they're going to do. This is not TPD version. Easy to build, like I showed you, once you get the legs in the right way round. Easy to wick. Those wick holes, they're not too big, but not too small. Don't pack the cotton inside there, or you might get a bit of dry hits. But yeah, overall, really got a lot of good points. The only slight niggle bad point will be the top fill. When you unscrew it to unfill it, you got to unscrew it so far and then pop it off. When you put it back on again and screw it down, it does readjust that top spinning part from mouth to lung to restricted direct to lung. So when you refill it, you may find yourself having to reset it again to which option you want before you can start vaping. But that's going to be the only real bad point. Go back down to 16 watts. I prefer this one myself for mouth to lung. Because I like a nice, slightly loose mouth to lung. But like I said, you can really fine tune this down to a real tight mouth to lung, all the way up to a restricted direct to lung. So it is doing what it says on the box, and it's doing it really well. Flavour wise, I've had really good flavour with this one. I've tried about 5 different juices. I've tried tobaccos, a custard, a fruit, and 2 bakeries. All my juices have been really good. I will say this has been performing really well with fruits. This is a vitalised mint cake from Amatorium. Really nice. I'm from the north of England and I do like Kendal mint cake. This one, a real authentic Kendal mint cake. So yeah, flavour, easy for me. 8 to 8.5, depending on your build. So yeah, that's my thoughts and my opinions on the Oxva Arbiter Solo. Like I said, Oxva sent it out to me, so big thanks to them. Guys and girls, hope you liked the video. Did like the video, want to give it a thumbs up. Disliked it, give it a thumbs down. If you're new to me, not seen me before, want to hit the subscribe button down below. And yeah, I'll see you all on the next one.